Hello, and thank you all so much for wanting to learn more about Central Coast Community Energy. In this webinar, we will be discussing who 3CE is, what we have to offer, including our popular energy programs, how we set rates, and ways for you to save on your electricity bill. My name is Fernanda Ocaña, and I am joined today by Jeff Railsbeck. We are both members of the customer accounts team at Central Coast Community Energy. Before we get started, I wanted to go over a few housekeeping items. There are links to the resources we mentioned in the description area below. If you have any questions specific to your bill, please contact us. Our discussion will focus on 5 primary topics. We will learn a little about Central Coast Community Energy and then look at our current energy programs. We will explain how 3CE sets rates, including their processes and principles. We will also look at how to minimize your energy costs. And lastly, we will take your questions and do our best to answer. Let's start with how 3CE fits into the process of powering your home and your business. Once a community elects to join 3CE, it becomes responsible for procuring its customers' electricity or generation. The investor-owned utility, or IOU, such as PG&E and SCE, continues providing electricity transmission, distribution, metering, and billing services. Central Coast Community Energy, 3CE, is geographically the largest public agency providing electricity generation in California. Spanning 5 counties and over 8,000 square miles, 3CE serves more than 1.1 million people in Santa Cruz, San Benito, Monterey, San Luis Obispo, and Santa Barbara counties. Remarkably, nearly 95% of eligible customers are enrolled in 3CE, highlighting the widespread appeal and trust in its services. 3CE began services in 2018, and since then we have seen tremendous growth throughout Central Coast. 3CE is made up of 35 member agencies spanning 5 counties. This map shows our current service area. In 2025, we will enroll the communities of Atascadero in the unincorporated areas of Slow County. Once complete, 3CE will add another 140,000 residents in our service area. Unlike a traditional investor-owned utility like PG&E or SCE, 3CE is governed by elected representatives and city or county staff drawn from the communities we serve. Decisions such as rate changes are made locally and with the benefit of our customers in mind. Our board meetings are open to the public and open to community participation in the process. Now I am going to ask Jeff to speak on our rebate programs.
Thank you, Fernanda. 3CE offers several energy programs and rebates for your home and businesses. We'll take a quick overview of 5 of these programs you might be interested in. If any of these programs do interest you, please go to our website at 3ce.org for more details. Electrify Your Ride is our most popular program. If you're a 3CE customer, you can receive rebates for purchasing an electric vehicle, installing a level 2 EV charging station, including helping with necessary installation and upgrades of your current system. The rebates are on top of state and federal incentives and can help save you thousands of dollars on purchasing an EV. This program is both for our commercial and residential customers. Electrify Your Bus program targets our schools, transit agencies, and agricultural transport businesses by offering up to 50% of a vehicle cost up to $200,000. The Ag Electrification program provides rebates to 3CE customers who replace fossil fuel equipment with new all-electric equipment. Eligible equipment includes irrigation pumps, farm tools, utility vehicles, tractors, and any other equipment that meets our guidelines. Electrify Your Home is a 3CE partnership with Tech Clean California. This partnership provides cash incentives to contractors for qualifying heat pump projects in the 3CE service area. Cash incentives are available when switching gas-powered water heaters and HVAC equipment to all-electric versions. Incentives are available to help cover the cost of the equipment electric panel upgrades, or replacements. New construction electrification program provides housing developers and homeowners with incentives to build all-electric housing. Housing projects must be built to an all-electric standard for all utility needs. Eligible projects include affordable housing developments, farm worker housing, accessory dwelling units or ADUs, and single-family homes as part of a disaster relief build. If you have any interest in any of these programs, please check out our website or give us a call for more information. I will now transition to discussion about rates and how 3CE sets generation charges. Before we get started, I wanted to mention when we refer to an IOU, we mean an investor-owned utility, or in our area, Pacific Gas and Electric or Southern California Edison. When 3CE first started in 2018, our rates matched PG&E's rates, but we returned 2% of the bill at the end of the year. Starting in 2019, we moved to an IOU minus model, which means our rates match PG&E rates with a 2% discount. When SCE began enrolling SCE customers in South Santa Barbara County, this same IOU minus structure was applied. This simple formula allows new companies like 3CE the time to fully develop their rate structure by remaining competitive with the investor-owned utility. In March 2022, 3CE moved to a true cost model in our PG&E service area. I'll explain the model in more detail in the next slide, so let's just start with some advantages to the customer. Basing our rates on actual cost to provide services allowed us to stabilize our rates since we didn't have to adjust every time PG&E adjusted theirs. Ultimately, this move allowed us to be more competitive with PG&E, and our customers have enjoyed significant savings on their generation charges. At the same time, we're able to continue to build a rate stabilization fund to weather short-term spikes in energy costs and received an A rating with Standard & Poor's, which puts 3CE in a strong position as we enter into new long-term clean energy contracts. Now let's take a look at how rates are set using the true cost model. This process requires a substantial amount of data analysis to forecast all expenses and costs incurred in the services of 3CE customers, including the cost of energy and other non-energy expenses of running a business. Once we understand the total cost of providing services to our customers, these costs are then allocated to various customer classes, for example, residential, commercial, or agriculture, based on their share of their fixed cost and their energy usage profile. This profile includes not only how much energy is consumed, but also when it is consumed. Lastly, we look at how the rates reflect our values and our principles as an agency. As our finance team works to determine our rates, they work with these four primary principles. Rates should be competitive, stable, responsible, and transparent. Let's take a look at these one at a time. We understand you have a choice in who provides your energy generation services. Your utility bill is a pocketbook issue for most households, and we respect that. 3CE needs to remain competitive in our market if we want to continue to serve. 3CE's goal is to plan our rates for the years ahead, minimizing the need for frequent adjustments. Stable rates are possible with smart planning and engaging in long-term clean energy contracts. We must have a full and realistic understanding of the cost of providing services, allowing our team to responsibly break down the cost to the customer class and rate level. Transparency is not just a buzzword for us. We're committed to showing how our rate structure and providing opportunities for you to participate in the process. As I mentioned above, 3CE moved to the new rate model in our PG&E service area over 2 years ago. Pending approval by our governing boards over the next couple of months, 3CE will be transitioning our SCE service area to the updated rate structure as well. Designing rates for this methodology will maintain 3E's strong financial position while providing competitive and responsibly allocated rates to its customers. This change will go into effect on your meter read date throughout January 2025. Now I'd like to turn the corner and take a ways that might be able to save you on electricity costs. Many of these changes will affect both your 3CE generation and PG&E or SCE transmission and distribution rates. Your first step would be to check your rate plan. As a reminder, while 3C customers receive their electricity generation from the energy, your transmission and distribution is still provided by your IOU. They also still handle the billing for your shared customers. Your rates with the IOU determines your 3CE generation rate as well. Both SCE and PG&E offer online tools to check if you're on the most cost-effective rate based on your historical usage. Just log into your account and use the Rate Plans drop-down menu to find the calculator. To be clear, this calculator gives you an estimate of the energy cost for customers who are a bundled service. These tools can give you a good idea of what rate is best for you, but your actual cost should be lower since our generation rates are lower. If you decide to change your tariff plan with the utility, it will automatically update on our end. If you charge an EV at home, have a battery, electric water heater, an electric heating and cooling system, make sure you look at special tariffs designed just for you. Both PG&E and SCE have rates that offer lower rates overnight when there's less demand. Most of us are in a time of use rate plan, so it's important to understand the hours when electricity is most expensive. If you are unsure if you're on time of use, please check your bill to see your rate schedule. If it says TOU in the description, you're in time of use. Generally, your energy costs are significantly higher from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m., though the peak time can change depending on the plan you choose. By moving your heavy usage from peak to off-peak, you can significantly lower your energy costs without changing your consumption. The increased cost for these peak times is due to both higher demand and a drop in energy production, especially from solar. For example, if you have an electric vehicle or a hybrid, please consider charging after 9 p.m. or midnight, depending on your plan. There are also state and federal programs that can reduce your energy cost. CARE and FARA provide discounts for low-income eligible households. You can also qualify for these programs by being enrolled in public assistance programs such as SNAP or WIC. PG&E and SCE manage these programs for our customers, and you can check eligibility and apply through their websites. If you rely on electricity for certain medical needs, you may qualify for the medical baseline program. Home Connect. If you'd like assistance in learning how to adjust your usage, we suggest checking out Home Connect. Home Connect uses smart devices to monitor usage and sends text challenges to you to make adjustments, such as turning off your air conditioning for an hour. They have tools and resources to help you understand your usage, as well as rewarding you for simple modifications to your behavior with a rewards program.
Thank you, Jeff, for such a comprehensive presentation this evening. We have some follow-up questions that I would like to ask you now. First question, what are the benefits of being a customer of 3CE?
Well, I would say the first benefit is that with 3CE, you actually have a choice in who's providing your electrical generation. For most of us growing up in this community, you only had one choice, and now you can choose between us or your IOU, whether it's PG&E or SCE. We also value focusing on clean and renewable energy production, and we're bringing on new facilities and investing in new companies that are helping to expand that profile that's out there. We also offer quite a few incentives, as we kind of talked about, to promote electrification, to get away from the use of natural gas or just gasoline, and to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions. We also offer local control. As I kind of mentioned, is the people who make our decisions and that set our rates are people in our community. They're elected leaders or they're city and county staff. And they're the ones who are ultimately responsible for how we run as a business. And lastly, we have very competitive rates. And we have, since we've gone to the cost of service model in the PG&E territory, our customers have seen substantial savings, and there's different reasons for that, of why that makes sense for our community. But it's just kind of a reality, and which has been very nice. And we have a focus on the community where we want to make sure that those are eligible for certain discounts, especially those income qualified ones, that we are getting them on the programs that they need to be on, because the rates just keep going higher and higher, and we need to find ways to serve the rest of the community.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for touching on those benefits. Now, the second question is, how will the recent announced fixed charge affect 3CE rates?
Yeah, so for those who don't know, due to some changes in California laws, the utilities are in the middle of proposing a fixed rate charge, and so there will be a rate that just shows up for all customers. And the idea is that your actual electricity charge, the per kilowatt hour, would go down a little bit. There are some plans out there like this already, especially for those who are using more electrical charges. Some of those rate plans we talked to for electric houses are very similar to that. But SCE just came out with a rate plan where I believe they're charging $25 a month as a flat rate. That is on the transmission and distribution side, and so it does not reflect in our rates in any way.
Thank you so much for capturing that answer. Now, the next question that was asked was, should we expect a rate increase from 3CE this year?
Not at this point. I think we would generally know that by now. Our current plan is that we will suggest a new rate structure to our boards in our annual meeting in September, with the idea that if there is a change of rate, it could be an increase or decrease, then that would take effective in January. At this point, we've had no discussions about any kind of rate changes until then.
Thank you so much, Jeff. I know that is a question that I often get, so thank you for addressing that. Now, the last question that we got covers the following. Why am I being charged by both PG&E and Central Coast Community Energy?
Yeah, this is something we run across all the time. If you look at your bill, especially from the PG&E end, it looks like an additional charge. SCE replaces services that PG&E used to provide or currently provides to bundled customers. And so on your bill, it's now broken out. It is not an additional charge. It's taking the place of, if you were a bundled customer with PG&E, it just would be all kind of wrapped up into one big rate, one big number. And so it's separated out so you can actually see, where it's coming from. But it's not an additional service. If you're an unbundled customer, they will show up as separate line items. For bundled customers, it just looks like one big giant number.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for answering these great questions, Jeff. This concludes our presentation. Thank you so much for your time this evening. If we did not get to your question today, please call or email us. We will be sending out an email which will include a copy of these slides along with a link to the recording of this presentation. I hope everyone has a great night, and thank you again. We will see you next time.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
All right, if you want to look at the recording, I'm sure that you started reading that slide where you had stopped after. I don't know at what point you were able to see this on the background, so you're gonna have to download and review. I know you said you were gonna edit, and my thought